So in this demo, I'd like to show you a simple method where you can look at the frequencies of categorical variables. So we're often very interested in that. We want to know something about their distribution, how frequent they are. Are there categories that only show up once or twice and might not be that useful because they're statistically kind of irrelevant, or what? We also care about labels. If we're doing a classifier, we want to know how well balanced the categories of our label are. So we're just going to look at how to make what we call frequency tables in statistics. So in my desktop here, I have some code that just gives the unique counts, and it just loops through a list of columns here. So these are just some categorical columns from the auto data set, and it just creates a pandas series, right? Because we're just taking one column out of a data frame. That leaves us a series. And series have this value counts method. And we're just going to print that. And you'll see we'll just create what we call frequency tables for each of our categorical variables there. So let me run this code. And our first frequency table is the make of the auto. And nicely, it comes out ordered. That's very convenient, right? We can go from the most frequent to the least frequent. So it turns out there's 32 Toyotas and 18 Nissans, et cetera. There's 13 each of several manufacturers' cars represented, but there's only one Mercury and two Isuzus, et cetera. So the frequency table complements a bar chart, and it's a very nice way to tell that apart. Fuel types. We can see there's a big imbalance in fuel types, that we only have 20 cases of diesel cars and 175 cases of gas cars. And similar, we have only 36 turbo cars and 159. So these imbalances have implications in terms of modeling, because how statistically significant inferences we can make about, say, just diesel cars or just turbo cars are clearly less than for gas or standard cars. And we won't go through all these, but you get the idea. We can create these frequency tables, and you can even do a two-dimensional frequency table, like we could look at gas and diesel cars by standard and turbo or something like that, and get even more detail. So let me just show you one other reason you might want to do frequency tables, in fact you definitely do, is imbalance in labels. So this is now the German credit data, and the label is bad credit, and again we just use this value counts method for the pandas series, and we'll just look at that frequency table, and sure enough we have 710 good credit customers and only 302 bad credit customers in this particular sample. And that means we have what we call a class imbalance. And a class imbalance is a serious problem when you go to build classifier models. And we'll deal with that in subsequent lessons. But I wanted you to see how you build the frequency table so you even know whether you have a class imbalance or not. So that's the simple story. Frequency tables are easy to compute, very useful. They contain a lot of information, and you should definitely look at frequency tables for categorical variables or the labels that you're using for classifier models.